What is going on today is March 31st. We're going to be going over penny stocks review today. We're going to start with CTOR. CTOR in pre-market kind of went straight up here, hit up all the way to 183, faded all the way back down into open around 1. We did see a couple weeks ago that tickers around like 80 cents to $1.20. They were producing a lot of good momentum, but the past week or so, this price range in general doesn't seem to be catching anything good as of late. So with CTOR, we did have a push here out of the open, didn't even get to VWAP, and then insta halted down. RIP to CTOR. Usually these things can get up to here, but this market lately, it's been more of a wait and see type of market. The open price action to me seems a little bit too whack to be predictable. So once this thing halted down though, I was pretty much out on it. It did come back to VWAP over here, which we are seeing a lot more weak opens and rotations, which is hopefully a good sign of better things to come, better days to come. But this did fail. This is a typical previous week or two type of stock where it just kind of fails under VWAP. Moving over to DOMH, this price range as well has not been doing too well. Anything like over $5 tends to just get fucking smoked, which is exactly what DOMH did. It was a clean pre-market. We had a pop here at 825. You had this nice little flag here. I don't really trade pre-market that often, so I don't know how well this would have been, but overall this looks pretty decent. Pushes back to kind of like a double top. We do have a 630 previous day high pivot level. This was pre-market high, 650s. So obviously we have some resistance here, 630s. It comes back here. It did look pretty good into open actually. I didn't take any of this, but I could have seen this, pushing up to here again and then fading. But this thing out of the rip just kind of faded down. We don't really see a whole lot of this. What we'll see is typically at least the push to view up and then fail. But these are actually kind of better. I like this because once the stock kind of fucks up and just goes straight down, tends to not come back. So that way you can just cross it off the watch list and kind of move on to better things. I think it halted right here. But yeah, once something halts down in the morning like this in the first 5 minutes, unless the market's crazy, which is very cold right now, this is pretty much all but dead. Moving over to HOLO, this will be a quick one. HOLO has, actually not HOLO, I was thinking of something else, but HOLO, she's a random runner today. Not really a pre-market. I'm not going to really go over this one. You do have a little dip right here. That's nice. This is crazy manip. This is 100% manipulation. And then just comes all the way back down. So this is also, in this market, we're getting the volcanoes everywhere. Boom, boom. See you later. So if you don't catch this move and things start getting choppy on the backside of it, just kind of tend to stick away and not use as much capital, would be my opinion. Moving over to ICCT, as I'm recording this bitch is halted up at 162. I'm telling you right now, this is the market we are in, straight up, straight down. I wouldn't be surprised if ICCT was below 83 cents by the time market closed. Who fucking knows, but I think we do have a pivot level here at 93 somewhere. It did come close to that, but anyways, let's go over to pre-market here. Pre-market was pretty nice on this one. She's opened up around 30 cents. This is kind of meh. It does push up here, again, straight up and then flat. So even in pre-market, this is kind of the vibe of the market and of this ticker so far. The 62 level is pretty key. Anything that's been opening up near highs tends to fail. So I was high on ICCT. Just this market in the environment right now is pretty garbage. So over the past couple of weeks, anything opening like this, best case is usually a pop to like pre-market high and then a fail, or it like just rotates into pre-market high and then fails. However, this one was definitely an outlier today, and hopefully stuff like this continues throughout the week. We had a nice week open. At this point, I thought it was pretty much done. I stopped looking at it for the most part. We do get this push here. Once we get this push right there, I was very interested. LXRX on Friday did a similar move, so it goes straight up here. So this is Friday, LXRX. It goes sideways at open, and then it just fails, and it's just like okay. It breaks back over VWAP, and then has this push here, and then dies off again. So we do have this week open, and then rotate back towards kind of highs, except this time it actually did push out. So it's very nice to see if you're a bull in this market. This probably a little bit further than I'd want it to go. Would have loved for it to kind of hold this 70 pivot, because again, like you saw in LXRX, just straight down is not out of the equation. Lack of bid follow up and everything was a bit better today though, as far as the bids go. Once it breaks back over here, I think this could have been a good add point. I didn't add this just because I wasn't 100% sure where it was going to go. The volume was okay. There's a good spike here. The fact that it's over VWAP, the fact that it's over this level is super bullish. But with the environment we've had lately, again, it's just kind of tough to kind of play with size and do anything worthwhile. But once it breaks here, I did add here. I got this move right there. Dips to kind of the previous high points have been working pretty well the past couple of trading days. A little bit tricky to get in here. The spreads and everything with these types of stocks, it's hard to get a decent average, especially if you don't get anything down here. If you're trying just to play this flag specifically, it is hard to kind of, assume that you can get 75 with size at least. So, but this was a good 5-minute flag here, holding the 75 pivot. It does break and smash through pre-market highs, which is also, again, was not expecting a break that big into an overtop. We do have a 93 daily pivot that we put in a nice 1-minute flag here. After this point, I was done trading it. The market just has not been good enough. And in order to not give back profits these days, sometimes you just got to call it. But it did end up pushing up higher. Hopefully, again, like I said earlier, the market does push and do more of this type of price action this week. Hopefully this just isn't the outlier of the week. But again, 1-minute flag here. You have a gap level from 103 to 118. It does fill that. This is another nice flag too if you're momentum scalper, especially over top of 1. Always a good point to go after. It does break through to 130, and then at that point, it just kind of goes flat and then sideways and down a little bit. This was 11 o'clock until, 2 o'clock? So you have 3 to 4 hours of consolidation here. Overall, it's an awesome flag, but again, we just haven't been getting, secondary pushes or or power hour has been pretty garbage as well. So. But we are getting something. So hopefully, for the love of Christ, this heats up the market. But just a little bit. Don't need a lot. Just give me something like this in the future, and we'll all be Gucci. But I don't even know, if long external trading, we do have this 93 pivot again. It does break down pretty much to pre-market highs here. So if you're a later day trader, this would have been a good area to attack. Even these wicks here would have been nice too. So anyway, enough about that one. ICCT by a long shot was probably the best ticker of the day. We'll get to MLGO here in a little bit, but that was really good. Moving over to LXRX, this is the multi-day one. Just one quick note on this. This one pushed, like I said earlier, on Friday. It kind of went flat. It rotated back into this 70 pivot. Extremely heavy. I believe the float is also very high. So, but we do get a push here off the intra 200. It kind of stair steps. To me, this is more vertical, right into that 70 pivot and then straight back down. So this is your standard type of environment play, straight up, straight down, trying to catch 5-minute flags off of like previous pre-market highs just aren't working. But hopefully, again, that changes. All right, moving over to our Lord Savior MLGO. This has been cooking shorts for the past week and a half or so. For me, I just stayed away just because stock going up this many times, the higher it gets, the more risk you're probably going to end up putting on for both sides. But, the spreads, all over the place. But with a lot of volume, it looked pretty clean overall. We do have this push into 2072s. I just deleted that. I don't know what the fuck I just did. And 19s. 2072 was the high point of the whole move. So clearly that was some selling pressure there. Comes all the way back down, goes straight up again. We have these straight up plays that tend to be working. So if you do catch one, they're pretty nice. Nice 1-minute flag here at 950s. And then we have this extended flag at this point. I did take one stab here off of the kind of like this high right here. Got a little scalp out of it, but this was the main pivot area. And again, in this market, I'm so used to up, down that I just tend to stay away from it. But things have been, extended flags have been fucking cooking in this market. And right now, MLGO just kind of grinded upwards. If you waited until this point, this would have been a good kind of setup right here for kind of like a cup and handle type look. Right now, it's just kind of holding this 25 area. I mean, who knows where this will go, but it has definitely saved a lot of traders, I feel like, in the past week. Moving out to MULN. MULN is a confirmed piece of shit stock. This thing, it did run a couple days ago, I think last week or something like that. Straight up, straight down. Never trust MULN for anything. VWAP fail, or not VWAP, yeah, VWAP fails here. So nothing much to say about that one. MYSZ, another example of straight up, straight down price action. This followed through, straight up, straight down. If you don't get the open price, I mean, this thing, the amount of green candles on mine, it's red. I just have them reverse colors. But I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row here. We have the daily 200 here at 255. We have this crazy wick candle here. You have a mini 1-minute flag. This flag I was tempted to take right here, but it was just really tough. I think I don't think the spread was actually that bad on this one. But this, if you're a breakout trader, was pretty nice, or 1-minute flag, kind of dip scalps and all that. Was really nice. I was waiting for maybe a bigger pullback, something like this earlier, but we never got it. But we do have a gap level reject here at 301, and then she dies off. But this has been the market. So again, hopefully ICCT, MLGO, we get more secondary pushes, more maybe weak opens, rotations. That will definitely help the market catch some shorts off guard. Moving over to NWTG. This one was also really nice. The tickers that have been doing well have been the ones that have been fading into open. I have a long list of stuff that anything that's kind of fading down here is always a better bet than something that's opens up here in this range near its highs. The only issue I had with NWTG was the way this one moved. It was similar to TNON, I believe, on last week, where the price action was just dog shit. It may look cleaner in hindsight, but live trading was kind of dog shit. We do have this push here. To me, I didn't really like it. Even here, a lot of stuff breaks VWAP, or around VWAP tends to fail. So for me, I wanted to see it set up. This was a nice dip, especially towards the intra 200 here. Again, we get this mini rotation. I tried adding some here, and it just, I think I got stopped out on this one, or just took a small cut here. Very whippy, but it did hold this kind of $2 195 pivot and then broke through. I just didn't like it because it was around VWAP, where ICCT was kind of over top of VWAP. This one was like trading through it, so I didn't really like it that much. But we do get this push up the pre-market highs. You do get this dip to kind of the previous high and then double top and fail. Very similar to what MYSZ did, where it goes straight up into pre-market highs. You get one good 1 minute, 5 minute dip, and then a kind of mini double top here, and then a fail. This thing is coming back here a little bit. So again, rotation plays are happening. So hopefully they heat up this market. But overall, this was actually decent. Like, this isn't terrible. This is a lot better than what we've been seeing. So we'll take it. Moving on, I think the last couple were a little bit dog shit. TGL, I did think that this could be possibly a mover just because, again, anything fading into open, it's like hit or miss. They either die off or they have a chance to go back to pre-market highs. But this thing out of the gates just went straight down. Anything that's looking like this early on, the volume's fading off, tends to stay down here. Again, it can rotate, but not typical. But that was that on TGL. The last one we're going to go over is WIMI, even though I'm not going to go over it too much. This is low volume. I don't know if this is news or not, or a spike, but again, similar vibes where we're riding the 190 MA. We're going kind of quote unquote straight up. This was a nice flag here, but volume is dog shit. So anyway, that's going to be it. Monday was a lot better. ICCT, so much better. This is hopefully this continues. I think pennies, anything under $1 has been a lot better trading than anything over $1. So, but it's been a mixed bag, honestly. We really haven't had a whole lot of, haven't had a whole lot of consistency with like types of runners. Like before, we've had sub pennies, then we had $2 to $3 stocks. It's just kind of all over the board, which makes it even harder to trade. But hopefully this slight momentum continues into tomorrow. Peace.